Are daughters more of an asset than sons to parent? Almost all parents say that they don't favor one of their children over another, but economic recession subconsciously lead parents to prefer girls over boys. Gender preference is a hotly debated topic. In most parts of the world, a preference exists for sons over daughters. Worldwide, cultures do tend to value boys more than a girl, which affects the overall gender ratio of boys to girls. Some women may feel guilty that the desire to have a boy given the world's bias against girls. Some women may feel it is more politically and ethically acceptable to desire a girl given this worldwide bias. When parents are old, daughters become more responsible than sons. This is because before marriage they care for their own parent, and after marriage they care for their family. Hence, the essence of responsibilities never dies in daughters. Daughters are more understanding and tolerant when compared to sons. Still, the advantage of having daughters persists in other ways. Daughters easily outperform sons when it comes to supporting aging parent. Sons are also almost twice as likely as daughters to say that they will not back up their parent emotionally by doing things like calling or visiting. Close to 60% of daughters provide that support, while just under half of sons do. Sons' redeeming qualities is that they are slightly more likely to have subsidized their parents' living costs than daughters are. Indeed, some researchers have suggested that the desire for a girl is more frequently vocalized openly, since women feel that other women are more likely to support a female gender preference choice. In a survey, 41% of adult men with living parent report getting funds from them to cover expenses, and only 31% of adult women with living parents say the same. Unsurprisingly, of those 18 to 34, 3/4 of men and 59% of women say they receive financial aid from their parent, and of 34 to 35 years old men, 35% say get parental help, while only 18% of their parent pairs do. Still, the advantages of having daughters persist in other ways. We have Apostle Dr. Grace Onoha. She's a minister, a marriage and a relationship coach. Apostle, it's good to have you here. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is going to be an interesting topic.
Please, how was your coming? Because I know Lagos was happening. I was on call with you, and you were like...
I was almost mad. It was terrible.
I'm so sorry.
The traffic this morning is so bad.
Amazingly, it's Monday, so usually we're always expecting sometimes, you know, Lagos to be like that. But it's good to have you here this past
Thank you.
Thank you so much for gracing our program. Okay, first thing, do people still prefer sons over daughter? That is the first question I'm going to ask.
Do people still prefer
Sons?
Yes, some still do. Some still do.
And why is that?
You know, African man. African man will always tell you, I need a male child. I need a male child. I need a heir apparent. I need someone that will take my place. But sincerely speaking, it doesn't work like that. We are not supposed to be biased or decide what we want. It's actually in God's hand to give us what He desires that is the best for us. And it's a high time we begin to receive every gift that God gives to us, because He is the one that knows the end of our life from the beginning. So whichever gender that God gives to you is the best and appropriate for you.
Okay, I was saying something earlier on that sons are treated differently and daughters are treated differently. But why do they tend, in African homes, like you said, why do they treat daughters more differently? I have to put more because, like you said, African homes, they always believe the son legacy and all of that. So why do they not have to treat the daughters differently? What's the reason?
Differently in what way?
In every sense. Even when it comes to portion of food, home chores, responsibilities, properties, you know, whatever have you.
You know, they believe that ladies are to be cared for. They believe the male child should take responsibility, while the female child also should take some responsibility, but every woman must be cared for, every girl child must be pampered, and so on and so forth. I think in some cases
it's always like that.
It's always like that.
I want to ask, do you actually think that in African homes, in every home actually, there should be a preference to which sex or which sex is better? Should they start preferring, okay, I prefer a male child, or I prefer a daughter? Do you think it's supposed to be so?
It is not supposed to be so. Every child is special. Every child is a gift from God. Every child has a specific role to play in the family, in the life of the parents. And moreover, gender is not what determines if a child will take care of the parents or not.
Or not.
Yes, gender does not determine that. It depends on what you put in your kiss that they will give back to you.
Wow.
Whether you have a male child, a female child, or God bless you with both male and female, is a blessing. So it is what you put. I have seen some male children performing wonders,
right,
taking good care of their parents, and by the special grace of God, I am blessed with 3 male children and 1 female. And among this, my first son, second son, third son, they are boys. They are male children. They are doing greatly well. It depends. It is what you want. You put in them. That's just it. Whatever you put in them is what they will bring back. If you are looking at them that these are male children, they cannot do some work, they won't take care of you when you are old. That is exactly how you will bring them up. And what you keep telling the children, keep storing in their mind. What you keep training them, how you train them, is what you are going to get back. So there is both of them are perfectly okay. Anyone that God gives to you,
there's a conflict of interest here, because if like you said, a whole lot of people actually believe that men might not take care of their aged parents, like when they are old and all of that, why the daughters are going to, even while they have their husband and their children, they'll be the ones to still go home and go and take care of mommy, have you eaten, you know, keep checking up on mommy, but the men may not. Like you said, it is what you put into them that they actually give back. Yes, I totally agree. But now let's look at it. When the man grows up, he gets married to a wife, a total different person from a different background, and you see now, you already carved that thing that, okay, the man is taking care of my mother, his mother and his mother, but now he has a wife, he has a child. Now the wife will have a role to play in that man's life. The children will have a role to play in that man's life. Now, do you actually think that that man will be able to still show that much effort and care when he starts taking care of his wife? Because, you know, we have all these issues of mother-in-law and all of that now. Because I realize that sometimes that is what comes to play. That's the issues where you have mother-in-law issues and daughter-in-law issues. Now, in that situation, do you think the man will be able to play that role that is expected of him just before he even got married? Do you think he'll be able to continue it?
It depends on personalities. It depends on how a man was brought up from the beginning. It depends on how the parents also are. The issue of mother-in-law and father-in-law or daughter-in-law, most of the times we are the one causing our problems. Most of these ladies actually, they are nice. They really want to take the mother-in-law as their own mother, but most mother-in-laws doesn't see them as their own daughter, vice versa. So when your son, and this is why we should keep praying early and keep teaching them, because whatever you sow is what you are going to reap, and God will never give you what will not make you healthy in life. You keep praying that and keep talking to your children, counseling them, make sure that they marry a woman that loves them. Any woman that loves the man will love everything about that man. And if a man gets married to a lady and he takes this lady to be his wife, his sister, everything. That lady being a nice woman, depending on where she was brought up or who brought her up, we definitely know that loving my mother-in-law, loving my father-in-law is what will make my husband happy. Like I used to tell ladies when they want to get married, I will tell them, please, you are not just, yes, you are married to your husband, but know that the way you treat the mother will determine how peaceful your marriage will be. It contributes a lot to your marital peace. So just don't remove the issue of mother-in-law. Take her as your mother. Then mother-in-law. Remove the issue of daughter-in-law. This is causing a whole lot of problem. Let us take, this is my daughter. God, when you have a son, you know that God has given you another daughter. When you have a daughter, you know that God has given you another son. So this issue of fight, quarrel, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law will never come in. We know that we have a lot of kinds of different people that no matter what you do to them, they are just who they are. Always they are who they are. They cannot change. But if we begin to remove this issue, it will give us peace. If you are entering, you know you are not just entering for marriage, you are entering, you are adopted into that family. You are now an adopted daughter to your mother-in-law, and this is your adopted mother to your daughter-in-law, and you will see both of you will work together, and this is where your son will have peace. Because when you don't accept the wife, you are actually pushing yourself out of your son. Because if your son did not have peace, you don't have peace, obviously, and you cannot be dragging to have your son where you are not dragging to have the wife. And the best way is to have the woman. If your son can marry your daughter, marry a lady as your daughter and as your friend, you understand, your son will live a healthy life, and the lady will have a healthy life. And I believe that the lady will also definitely take care of the mother. Yes, I think mother-in-law. And take care of the man will take care of the mother. I remember when my mother was sick, my sister-in-law, that is my brother's first wife, my brother's wife, my mother's first son, the wife, she was just a nice woman. So when my mother was sick, actually my mother was with me in Lagos for some years before I took her home. But when I took her home, my sister-in-law called me and said I should not bother, that she will take good care of my mother. And sincerely speaking, she took good care of my mother as if I am the one. She was only asking me, whatever you have to send to us, be sending to us. And each time I travel to see my mom will say, this is my daughter, that Julie is her first daughter. And this is the way you understand me? And you cannot just, it is what you give, you take. So sons can actually take good care of their parents at their old age if they are able to manage it well. Okay, yes, I totally agree with you. But you know what? I love what you just said now, because it's very important. Because if you actually take care of your, let's remove the in-law now, the daughter-in-law, which you have to take care of the in-law and take her as your daughter, I think we'll not have this issue of when men marry, they just abandon their parents. Some ladies are praying that the man they will marry, the mother should be motherless. A lot of people believe in that. A lot of ladies, yes, many have told. I said no, you are getting it wrong. Because that means somebody else will be praying for you too. Somebody else will be praying for you, because you are entering, you will get birth. So meaning that you will not live when your son will get married. So it's just for us to iron and manage ourselves. There's nothing much than for us to have this godly mind and godly heart. Okay, all right, this is very beautiful. I can see a lot of difference, and I believe we are learning a whole lot when it comes to, you know, managing our children. This is just about managing the children. It's not about any sex right now, the male or the female. It is how you take care of your children that matters. Okay, we're talking about, you know, mother-in-laws. I like that one because we actually dealt with it last week, and here was very, very hot. If I think it was Yinka Davis that was even at this spot. Okay, I want to ask this now. In this part of our world, which is African homes, now we all know that male are usually preferred than daughters, but they feel like on the long run
I'm talking about African homes. On the long run, you now find that it's as if there is daughters that are even more valuable than the male, because somehow you see them when they are growing up. Ah, no, he can't wash plate, or it's the daughters that are supposed to wash plates. Ah, no, why would he sweep the house? It's not supposed to do that. That's the place of a female. Ah, why should he enter the kitchen? No, she has to be the one to cook. Who will cook for her? Would you learn how to cook? To cook for your husband and all of that. You're a girl. You have to learn how to cook. You have to take care of your home. If not, you'll be pushing your husband outside. And there's this thing they always say that to get to the heart of a man, you have to go through his tummy, which a lot of people advise their ladies. Now, it now gets into marriage, and you find out that, in fact, even before the marriage part, you find out that sometimes it might cause a rivalry between the two siblings. It might even cause enmity. I don't know. But do you believe that such treatment, always putting the daughter at the forefront of all the home chores, all the work, going to the market responsibilities, and the boy is always just probably in his room playing with his friends or playing with his toys or watching TV, do you think this causes rivalry between siblings or enmity between themselves, that even when they grow up, they find out that they don't have that sibling or brother to sister relationship between themselves? Do you think that happens?
It sometimes happens, but what I will say on this aspect is this: allowing only the female children to be responsible in house, taking care of their house, cooking, is not a good one. Is over laboring them, and the men also uses it as an advantage against their sisters.
Okay.
Seeing it as if their sister is their slave. And this is why when some of them get into marriage, they marry a wife, they see their wife to be their slave, because their parents have not taught them how to do housework, how to do some of the things. So sometimes it causes a lot of problem in the home, because if you actually, God bless you with male and female, you need to train them the same. Even at the world we are now, you see ladies doing most work, even financing the family. You get my point? So if what you only taught your children, your dear child, is how to go to kitchen, maintain the house, keep the house neat, cook food, go to the kitchen, do this, serve your brothers. When she gets into marriage and things fall apart, will she be able to cope? When the man is not there, is not capable of financing, it will affect the family, because
all she knows how to do is the home choice.
Go and bring money, I will help you to cook. I will help you to do every other work. But that was exactly what she was taught. So it's going to affect her in the time to come. And not training your male children as well to know, take up their responsibilities in your life. Because when your children cook and give to you, sometimes you leave the kitchen for them. My sons cook, my sons wash, my daughter do. So I didn't train them, you are a man, you are a woman, because you will marry tomorrow. You will also take good care of your wife, and also assist your wife. You should know that it is co-responsibility. It is not a responsibility, and it will not bring an issue. Like if you come to my house, nobody insult each other. What the boy can do, the girl can do it. So you do it together. You understand? So in order not to turn your daughters to slave, or give them that slavery mentality, I am the one to do everything. Then when it comes to getting money, I am not involved in working.
Yes,
so I am there as housewife. I'm there to maintain, arrange your words. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. I really like that part. So at this point now, what advice will you now give to parents? Because it's as though if there's enmity, eventually if there's any enmity or any rivalry between the siblings, yes, it affects the parents.
The parents are the ones that suffer.
Exactly. So what advice will you give to parents right now when it comes to raising of their children?
Special. All the children you have, male, female, they are gifts. They are special. You should not show favorism to one, and you should make sure that they respect each other. Whether boy, whether girl, there will be a mutual respect. No one will cross their boundaries. In doing that, you are bringing peace. And when you discover that one is riding over one, whether senior, whether junior, you have to call that person to order, advise, and also tell him the implication, because the headiness of the siblings determine the headiness of the parents in their old age. When siblings are fighting, it does not give peace to the house, and their children will also copy it from them. My dad is fighting with the sister, my mom is fighting with the brother. Before you know it, it will now get to the grandchildren, and they will no longer be together. So it is good for us to start at the earlier stage to train our children, build them, and let them know that no one among them is special. And moreover, you don't even know the one that God will equip more to bless you. Do you get my point? To take good care of you. And I believe that all of them will actually take good care of you. Depend on their area of strength. And peradventure you are looking at the man that is the one that will take good care of you, and at the end of the day he was not opportune.
Could even end up being the
financially he's not there. So the woman will say, you have spent all your days thinking that this is where your favor will come. But if you build them together, they are one. They take good care of themselves, they love themselves, they assist themselves, they cater for themselves. Sometimes there was when my two children were in university, the first and the second one, so when they have financial need, the senior one may have a financial need, and two of them may have actually. I will now ask the senior one, this is what is available now, and your younger brother is actually in need of it. Can you wait and let's settle him? I'm just bringing it to know what he will say. And at the end he will say, okay mommy, his own is more important, let's settle him. I will ask the younger one, your senior brother is highly in need, and his own is important. Which one do you want us to do first? Should I settle you? And he said, no ma, let's settle him. And you now see that this one is fighting for this one, this one is fighting for this one. At the same time, at the end of the day, you now take a decision, divide it and give both of them, and keep living.
Which is a very beautiful thing.
And they can make sacrifice for themselves. Always, parents should always make sure that their children make sacrifice for each other. Don't allow selfishness to grow amongst them. They must make sacrifice for each other. In doing this, we are building them.
Okay, now I really like what you just said, because building them together is the key, and that is what we're trying to do here. Right. The topic is are daughters of more asset than male, but on the long run, what I'm trying to look at is to take away the gender difference, the gender preference in every of our society. Now we know that female tend to have a lot of tolerance, like they have a high ability of tolerance. They can tolerate a whole lot of things compared to men. Some would rather just keep quiet or walk out of the situation, you know, but female will probably stay in and lock it in, most female. Now, but do you think that because of the line that we have told in now, the African, the way they take care of their daughters, they believe the daughters will do this, the men will do it differently, do you think it has caused a big problem in our society right now, especially in Nigeria? Do you think it has caused a very huge problem in our society?
Yes, it has caused a lot of problem in our society, and because it is the family that make up the society. It is what you learn from your family, you come to the street to demonstrate. So in that aspect, we Africans are not really getting it right. We should put things right. From every family should put things right. Younger ones coming up that are yet to get married, that are already married also, should also sit down and make sure that they arrange things because of the future that we want to all live together.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. I hope a lot of parents are learning this, because usually, like you said, the family makes up the society. And of course, if the family don't do it right from the home, it goes out into society and it starts affecting the society. But now in Nigeria, let's bring it down to Nigeria. Do you think that this gender preference of a thing, preferring male or preferring female or whatever, do you think the reason why they prefer a male more sometimes or prefer a female more sometimes is because of the Nigerian economy, the way our economy is going? Do you think it's part of one of the reasons why they are doing that?
I don't think it's one of the reasons. It is how knowledgeable you are. What you know is what you know. What you don't know
is what you don't know.
You don't know. So the Nigerian economy does not really
have anything
on it. You know, in those days they will tell you that a gay child should not explore in education, because it doesn't really, you will marry. When you get married, every education, anything you have, okay, we are training you for your husband, let's just put all hands together and train the male child, which does not work anymore. So if you have a male child, train him as you desire. If you have a female child, train them as you desire. Make sure that you equip them, because the world is not the same way it was then.
Okay, you know why I actually asked this question is because, let's bring it down to the Gen Z, yeah? Okay. Now, training up children, they believe, you know, when they have a male, they believe, okay, I want to train this child. You see some parents will call some guys. I've seen a scenario whereby in my hood, where a woman, a mother, sees a young guy that dresses well, you know, aside from work, he dresses well, is on dread, you know, he's very responsible, but he's into the entertainment industry. And the next thing the guy was coming to meet me was, you know what that woman said? That she has gotten a laptop for the son. She has gotten everything, that please, that she knows he's doing yahoo. That is what they call internet fraud. He's doing yahoo, that she should please just come and train her son to be like him, that he likes the way, you know, he's wearing nice clothes. Yes, that even though he has one car,
spending money.
He's spending money, like he's looking good. So she's feeling that the guy is into internet fraud and scam and all of that. So he believes that, okay, if you train my own son to be in that line, it will help. Now, I'm coming from the angle of male. Why some people right now, they will believe that once I have a girl child, I'm covered. Because why? I will train that child on how to cook, how to make her, you know, look good. She has to be attractive. She has to know, you know, her feminism side, to be able to attract men that will bring money home. That's the economy I'm talking about. Now, looking at what Nigeria is, some people believe it's very hard for a man to get to the top, but it's very easy now for a woman to just get to that place. So you see some of these men like, I don't want a man will stress me. I want a woman that will be bringing the money home, a woman that will get married to a rich
man.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying. Do you think it has actually gone that far in our society?
It's poverty mentality. Poverty is not that you don't have money in your pocket on your account. Poverty is a mindset. I think it's poverty mentality.
Right.
Yes. Because you see a young man wear dress, you want your child to be like that. It doesn't really, at the end of the day, you may be the one that submitted your child for destruction. And all this in backfire, and you are teaching your girl child, I want to train you so that you can get, you will be beautiful and get attracted to men that will be giving you money. It's also, you are also working against your tomorrow, because it may not end the way you are designing it in your heart. It may not end that way.
Right.
So we have to be very, very careful
what we do,
what we say to them, our aim, our purpose of raising these children, what we actually telling them, what they are hearing, because tomorrow these children will use it against you.
Right.
I have seen children that's before their parents, standing before me and standing their parents, you are the one that asked me to follow this man. You are the one that asked me to be collecting money from him. And now you have the guts to be telling me in the presence of your friends that I should not do this, I should not do this. Are you not the one that pushed me to the
go
man?
Do it.
And if I get the man, are you not the one I'm giving? You now see that these children themselves, they know when you whatever you are doing.
Yes.
It may turn against you tomorrow. And you will not say, it is what you give, you take back.
Of course.
So it may not end the way you are thinking.
Want it.
So you have to train them to be strong, face the future, pay the price.
Right.
Not just getting it in a platter of gold. Train your child, give her a good education. If she's a girl, train her as if you are training your tomorrow. Train her for your tomorrow. So at the end of the day, she will know that nothing good comes easy.
And if you have lived a past mistake, in fact, if you have made a mistake, correct it. Don't let her be your correction.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No. Okay, well, I really love that, because why I even said that is because a story came to my head where a woman said to her, although it's a movie, she said that she had lived her life, she regretted marrying her husband, and now she's divorced, she's happy, so she had to struggle all the way till she made it and was able to take care of her daughter. So every time the daughter goes out to look for a man to bring home, she's always scrutinizing and checking, knowing his background, you know, bringing up investigators to go investigate the guy to his family, to his home, you understand, and forgetting the part whereby the lady has to first love the man. So eventually, most of the men she was bringing, the mother was saying no. And she's this obedient child that, you know, she was taking everything, until one day it went out of hand. She got married to the one that the woman thought
that is good.
It's good because he has the money. It'd be like, my daughter will not suffer. Even if she's suffering, she has money that she will take, you know, when she divorced. And at the end of the day, the man got to be a woman beater, got to be a cheat. In fact, is not a man. You just term him an animal. And whenever she goes to the mom will be like, calm down, you know, you have to manage, he's rich. If he beats you up or you just collect some money, travel out, you know, it's better to, how do they say it, it's better to cry in a jeep than to be happy in a keke or on a bike. You know, that was the advice she was giving to the daughter. But on the long run, the daughter had to stand her ground and poured all the blame on the mother and said, see, because you made a mistake does not mean I should correct your mistake for you. Let me live my life, make my own mistakes, and be better, which is actually very good. So to wrap up the show, actually, because of our time,
parents should not use their mistake. They should not use what's turned against them to judge their tomorrow. For the fact that you enter in a marriage, you fail, does not mean that your daughter will definitely fail. So, and most of the parents didn't want to check what actually make me to fail. Where did I contributed to this my failure, so that I can even change or learn. But they feel that as long as marriage did not favor them, it will not favor any other person. So don't use your yesterday error to judge your tomorrow. Your children has their life to live. And there is a limit to your advice. Advice is when you give, you watch.
Abi?
The child has his own mind. He knows what he wants.
It's hard on
your
his
own
life.
is to advise.
Yes.
Allow him to choose.
Right.
Allow her to make a choice. And when a girl gets to an age of 20 or a man, your life is in your hand. Any decision you take, you are the one to pay for it. If it work out for you, and if you discover it's not working out, you can still change. We have rooms to change. But parents...
Oh, wow. We have Akinkunle, author. Oh, my word. And time is already up. Okay. To break all protocols, we're going to ask you a question, and of course you give us a very quick answer because we're already wrapping up the program. We're so sorry you're joining late. Hopefully tomorrow, I think I would really love to have you, you know, join the program. Okay, my question is, do you actually think it is nice when parents start differentiating between sexes, like always saying I prefer the male to the female, or I prefer the female to the female? And do you think this actually can cause a whole lot of issues when it gets to their future, when it comes to siblings relationship, and even when it comes to taking care of their parent? What's your take?
All children are equal. What I say there is that it's not good to discriminate among your children. A male child is good, while a female child too is good. It depends on how you raise them. You know, children are like an open book. What you write inside is what you are going to read. If you give them a very good background, they are going to stay on that background and they are going to be useful for you. The children you don't income value into will not be valuable to you. It's as simple as that. Hello?
Short. Yeah, we can hear you. That's very short. Okay, so finally, to wrap this up from your side, can you hear us, Akinkunle? Can you hear us? Okay, all right. I think at this point we have to wrap up.